everyone. We're going to get started in just another minute or two, but want to make sure we give a little bit of time so everyone can log in, get set up, and make sure that their audio is working. So it will just be another 1 to 2 minutes. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Jackie Ficecci, and I'm the Director of Communications and Outreach here at GuideStar. I'm excited to welcome you all to today's webinar on tools for giving season, leveraging Facebook for your nonprofit, which is perfect timing because Giving Tuesday is right around the corner and going to be here before we know it. And I'm so excited today to have some amazing speakers for you. We have Jennifer Ibarra joining us today from Facebook, and she's the Global Creative Strategist on their social good team. And she goes day in and day out helping nonprofits amplify fundraising efforts and donor engagement through Facebook's charitable giving tools, which she will be diving into shortly. And then we're also thrilled to have Olivia Melikov and Kimberly Adams from the ASPCA here to tell us about their experiences using those tools and provide some expert tips based on lessons learned. But before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment to go over some logistics. We're aiming to leave a few minutes at the end of the webinar to answer any questions you might have. So submit the questions through GoToWebinar. Just look over to the right of your screen and you should see a questions box. As long as you start typing, it will come our way, so send anything and everything over to us. And if you happen to miss a slide or don't catch something we say, don't worry. We're going to record this webinar and we'll send out a copy of it in the next day or so. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jennifer to tell us about what we've learned in past giving seasons and how we can help make 2018 our best year yet. Take it away, Jen.
Thanks. Hey guys, Jennifer Ibarra. I am the content strategist on the Social Good Partnerships team. So we do a lot of work with all of our partners day in and day out and figure out how to best use our tools or best create tools for you guys to use to get those donations online. And we'll jump into, let's see if I can get there we go. Sorry, getting a little ahead of myself. Here's the agenda for today. We'll go through a quick 2017 look back, and we'll have our ASPCA partner success story. Really excited to showcase them today. And we'll have some Facebook charitable giving tools overview. That's the tools that we've implemented over 2017. And then going into 2018, which new tools and exclusives we have for Giving Tuesday specifically this year. And then at the end, we'll save the best for last and go through the best practices from Facebook and 92nd Street and Y, who are the founders of this Giving Tuesday moment. So stay tuned all the way through the end to get some of those good nuggets. And before we jump into the recap, I just wanted to give you a quick look at the giving landscape over 2017. So in a report by the Blackbaud Institute, we saw that online giving rose 12% in 2017. 26% of digital donations are happening on mobile devices. And in another report from Classy, we saw that people who sign up for automatically recurring donations give more over their lifetimes than the people who make one-time gifts. So we're definitely on to something here, and we're excited to keep the ball rolling in this giving landscape. So I want to just give you a quick overview. What is our social good mission? The social good team's mission is simple. It's build tools that have positive real-world impact. Many of the tools that we've built are based on the activities that we already see people and partners performing within the platform. So we're really here building tools that we know can benefit you in the long run. We've rolled out a number of tools and features for nonprofits to build stronger communities, from raising funds for causes that people care about with our fundraising tools, to supporting communities in times of crisis. Today, we will focus on the social good charitable giving tools. So that's everything that you see from fundraisers to birthday fundraisers to personal fundraisers. Those are our charitable giving tools. Charitable giving tools on Facebook make it easy for you to raise awareness and funds for causes that you and your supporters care about. So launching into our Giving Tuesday 2017 look back. Overall, Facebook performed really well year over year with our fundraising tools. We also obviously learned from 2016 and implemented better tools going into 2017. And we're proud to say that this past year, donations on Facebook represented 15% of the U.S. donations on the day, compared to 4% in 2016. You can say the total dollars you can see that the total dollars raised year over year is pretty astounding. And not only just for Giving Tuesday as a moment, but you can also see that our fundraising tools have had an impact in online giving, really showcasing the awareness around the moment on our platform. During Giving Tuesday in 2017, I'm happy to say that together we raised over $45 million from 473,000 people to support more than 46,000 organizations. And how did we do this? We had a $2 million match, $1 million from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and $1 million from Facebook. And our original goal was highly surpassed. Our original goal was 10 million, and we obviously reached 45 million. And the promotion of the match on that day really drove people to create fundraisers for the organizations that they care about. And we see that matching inspires giving. 75% were first-time donors. And even more promising, of that 75% that were first-time donors on Facebook, slightly more than 1 out of 5 people have had a reoccurring donation within a couple months since Giving Tuesday. And the good word is spreading. The reach of donations expanded 2 times beyond just an individual circle of community on the platform, and nonprofits, both big and small, are benefiting. And finally, Facebook surveys before and after the day show that there was a 17-point lift in awareness of the event itself. So we can see that, the giving trends from 2017 and stuff that we're seeing, we're heading in the right direction. Just so you guys know, we actually just posted a blog about the white paper that we did in collaboration with Bill and Melinda Gates, and you can dive deeper on that information and all the stuff that we just looked over at nonprofits.fb.com/news, and you can download the full thing and get a quick snapshot as well with an infographic on there for more information. And, the giving keeps growing. We have our Facebook has our sights set high. Over the past 2 years, we've learned how to better support the fundraising experience, and we believe that with the new tools available this year, we can accomplish an even bigger impact in 2018. And we'll go over that and dive a little bit deeper into that later in the slides, but I would love to hand it over to Olivia and Kimberly from ASPCA so you guys can see their activations on Giving Tuesday last year and get some best practices and tips from them.
Hi, this is Olivia. I am the Director of Social Media Strategy at the ASPCA. Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone. This is Kimberly Adams. I'm the Director of Social Media at the ASPCA. And basically, our teams are in charge of all social media channels, promotion strategies, social media campaigns, and the majority of our paid social media efforts. And today, Olivia and I are going to talk a little bit about our strategy for last year's Giving Tuesday.
Oh, there we go.
So really in today's landscape, there are so many marketing channels where you can reach potential supporters. And we really found at the ASPCA that the key to any successful campaign is to really go where your potential supporters are. The greatest results are often seen with a cohesive marketing strategy where you are showing these potential donors the same campaign using very similar imagery, similar language, just really across all of your channels. Examples of this would be email, digital ads, direct mail, mobile texting, and of course, social media. But with more than 3 million registered nonprofits in the United States alone, how can you cut through the noise and reach people on social media? Really think about that a second. On Giving Tuesday, you are competing with nonprofits across the world. What makes you get noticed? How do you stand out from the crowd? In our case, we decided to just take a really crazy chance and try something we've never done before.
So what we did was a Giving Hope Facebook Live-a-thon. That's what we dubbed it. And basically it was an all-day Facebook live stream where we featured hourly lives spotlighting different elements of our work. We kicked off the live streams at 9 a.m. and did ones every hour on the hour. Facebook Lives in general, we find perform really well, so we wanted to lean in to this tool and leverage it. And Facebook had recently launched the Donate in Live button a few months prior, so we wanted to leverage this new product too. Throughout the day, we showcased different elements of our work. So everything from this top image was a little kitten slumper party. The bottom image there is highlighting some senior animals. We showcased how to bottle feed baby kittens. We showcased some adoptable animals who were rescued from the many hurricanes that took place last year. So we really used this time to showcase the key elements of our work in a really fun, visual, and engaging way. The goal of the event was to not only show the elements of our work, but to use that to raise critical funds. And we're really, really blown away by the results. We received over 12 million social media impressions, millions of video views, and we were able to raise over $60,000. One of the ways that we were able to expand this campaign was by partnering with one of our existing corporate partners. Subaru is a partner that the ASPCA has been working with for a long time already. So we actually pitched for them to come on as a match donor. So they were able to match every donation up to $25,000 made during the live-a-thon. And donors just get really, really excited about match campaigns because they feel like their donation goes a farther way. Yeah, it's a great way to motivate those funds to keep coming. We can, we remind people, okay, we're almost at 25,000, we're at 22,000, just a few thousand more. So it's a really great way to get people excited. And obviously Subaru's a really big company, but this can be replicated locally with smaller brands. Try reaching out to local banks in your community, local businesses, and see if they would consider doing a match campaign, maybe up to 5,000 or a few thousand. So it can work, on a small scale, or you can scale it up. Another way that we tried to extend the reach of this campaign was by partnering with influencers and pitching media. So on the influencer front, we invited some of our influencer friends to participate in the many lives that we were doing throughout the day. One of our celebrity friends is Edie Falco, and we invited her to open the live-a-thon, and she actually brought her dog, Sammy, who was a puppy mill rescue. So her live piece focused all about puppy mills and her adorable dog here, you can see in the photo. We also invited some of our friends from Animal Planet and some of the on-air personalities they have. So for example, their Puppy Bowl referee, Dan Schachner, came on board, and they helped promote the live-a-thon on their channels as well. And then finally, we brought some famous Instagrammers onto the live stream. We did one segment that focused just on senior pets, and we brought 2 senior pet advocates, Chloe Cardogian and Mervyn the Chihuahua. So that really helped because all these influencers also promoted the event on their social channels, and just the fact that they were there made people excited to tune in. And then because we were doing this new and kind of innovative campaign, we also pitched it to media. We looked at media that covered Giving Tuesday in past years and reached out to see if they would cover, and so we got some coverage there as well. And with Edie Falco participating, we were able to get a hit in People Pets. Again, I think this could totally work on a smaller scale too. I mean, obviously Edie Falco is a bigger name, but in local communities, there's always local celebrities. Maybe there's local legislators, or there's athletes that you can reach out to. There's Instagram famous pets in every city, so you can search for Instagram famous pets in whichever city you're in and invite them to participate. So there's always someone that you can find locally and invite them. And basically, one thing that we like to do is if it's not an animal influencer, but a human influencer, we kind of look through their social media posts to see if they post a lot about animals. If they have rescue pets, then we know that they're pet lovers and we'll invite them on. But this can translate to any sort of nonprofit. Now I'm handing it back to Kimberly.
So I would say once you have your strategy set, your campaign set, I can't stress this enough. You want to promote it everywhere. You want to let the nation know that you are having this amazing campaign and you are celebrating Giving Tuesday, and that you want them to come and join you in that celebration. You also want to get the message out there before Giving Tuesday. Throw some teasers up there. Create a Facebook event. Let people know, again, that you're inviting them on that day to come visit you, to make that donation to you. Some of the things that we did to promote the event was creating a custom Facebook cover image that had the direct link to that donation. We had custom shareable cards that we shared and gave to influencers and celebrities to share as well. We put blogs announcing that this event was taking place before the event and actually the day of. We also sent an email to our full file, letting people know to tune in to join us for the event. We sent a press release, and we mentioned some of the influencers that Olivia spoke about, and really gave people an opportunity to want to join us that day and tune in to watch these adorable videos. What else did we do? We cross-promoted on our other channels too. While this was definitely a Facebook event, we did promote the event on Twitter and Instagram. And then we also sent a staff activation. You know, we let everyone on staff know that this was happening and if they had free time to tune in. So I would say that is a really big thing. Promote it everywhere you can think of and do it ahead of time. Even bigger than that, use Facebook's fundraiser tools. They are so easy to incorporate into any of your social posts. We used the Facebook donate button on all of our live streams throughout the day. Here's just a couple of examples of the language that we used. But honestly, it was such a great opportunity to have this seamless way for supporters to donate without leaving the Facebook platform. And any shares, so if people shared one of our live streams, they were also sharing that donate button, which is just amazing and furthered the reach of our efforts. It's super easy. Anybody can do it who's a nonprofit, and yeah, go for it.
We also do a lot of engagement with the donors within the lives. So we are constantly thanking them and making sure that we're really engaging and monitoring what they're doing.
Yeah, during these lives, we had a team behind the scenes set up it was almost like a desk. So the live was up out front, and then we had a team in the back whose sole job was to go in there, thank donors, give them call outs. We even created, we had little business cards, and we wrote the donor's first name and handed them to our spokesperson on set so that they could call out and be like, thanks, Mary, who just gave a donation. So those kind of little personal things in thanking the donors really was really an incentive to get more people to participate and donate. I think we're turning it back to Jen. Thank you.
All right. So I want to jump in and give a quick overview of the charitable giving tools that we currently have and that we had over 2017. And then later on in the presentation, we'll jump into the new tools. But I just want to kind of do this as a quick recap to highlight anything that maybe some of you don't know about or haven't heard of before in the tools that we have. So we've got an array of tools already in place to help collect donations on Facebook from your organization. We have, donate buttons in the page header. They can be on a page post. We can do it within the fundraisers themselves. And then, of course, we have the donate button in the live video, which you saw ASPA's successful integration of. And then we also have tools specifically for your supporters to fundraise on your behalf. They can post on their page. They can create a birthday fundraiser in honor of your organization. And they can also go live and request donations for a cause they care about, meaning your organization. So a lot of the best practices we'll get into later will showcase for you how to engage these supporters on your behalf. And then coming into Giving Tuesday for 2018, as we start sending out information about what we have going on for 2018, we'll also be sending out those toolkits and kind of marketing 101 to see how to better utilize these tools for you guys going into this year. I want to touch quickly, we have reporting for nonprofits within the donation settings. Page admins can access their donation settings and reports to see how their donations are coming in, see your payout report, and you can get a daily transaction report as well. All of this can take place within the platform. When you have a payout report, you can see when you're paid by Facebook. Payments are sent out every 2 weeks, how much money you need to accrue before you can receive that payout, see any reoccurring donations that have been set up. And then within the transaction report specifically, you can see who the donor name is, how much they donated, an email address if they opted in. And all this information is available 48 hours after the donation has occurred on the page or the post. And donors can give without ever leaving Facebook. So here's a view of what the donor checkout process looks like. We really want to make it easy and uncomplicated for the user experience. This experience notifies donors what personal information will be shared and what will be used, identifies the funds that are going that they are going to an unrestricted pool, and there's obviously the email opt-in option for them. So with that being said, I would love to hand it over to GuideStar so they can showcase how we use them in addition to this donor flow so that you guys can better set yourselves up for success within that flow moving forward. So take it away, Jackie.
Perfect. Thank you, Jen. So now that you've talked about the various ways to fundraise on Facebook, I just wanted to take a moment to kind of talk about how this all fits into GuideStar. So as some of you may know, GuideStar is a data hub of nonprofit information, and simply put, we help people make better decisions about nonprofits and the work that they do. And so one of the ways we do this is through what you see on the screen, which is a nonprofit profile. And every organization that's registered with the IRS already has a profile. And that's because it's based off that IRS information like a Form 990. However, we also encourage organizations to come in and claim the profile in order to supplement that pretty boring 990 information that doesn't necessarily make sense to a lot of donors. And so this is important because there's about 9 million unique visitors that come to GuideStar annually to do that type of research, but the nonprofit profiles go so much farther than that, potentially even reaching tens of millions more because of the 200 plus philanthropic websites and applications that are powered by GuideStar data. like Facebook. So Jen, if you could click over to the next slide. So this is an example of what someone is seeing when they choose to donate through a Facebook fundraiser. And through that little box on the right, you can see it says learn more on GuideStar to find out about additional information. And so this link actually clicks directly over to that organization's nonprofit profile. And we do know that people are taking the time to do this and learn about organizations before they donate, because if you click over to the next slide, Jen, you can see something that we pulled from our Google Analytics, which shows on Giving Tuesday 2017, so one day last year, there were more than 50,000 potential donors coming to do that research before they give. So as we're getting closer to Giving Tuesday, this is just our little shameless plug to make sure you come in and update your profile, because what do you want donors to see? Next slide. They can either see something like this, which is a basic and unclaimed profile, which is pretty much only IRS information. It doesn't really say anything about how a donor is going to understand your mission. What are you trying to accomplish? Or you could see something like what's on the next slide, where it clearly articulates your goals, strategies, areas served, and the progress that you're making toward your mission. It's a really much more complete and comprehensive look at your organization and all the work that you do. So on top of that, you can also get rewarded for filling in this information by earning a seal of transparency at the same time, and that's that little icon up there to the left. And the amount of information you provide determines which seal level you have. So hopefully that helps provide a little bit of extra context, and now I'll kick it back over to Jennifer, who can tell us what Facebook has in store for Giving Tuesday 2018.
Hey guys, just trying not to over-click here. There we go, little delay. So we've got some new tools and exclusives to highlight for this Giving Tuesday. Earlier this year, we launched page and public figure fundraisers. So you don't just have to be a nonprofit. Businesses and public figures can now have supporters fundraise for a cause they care about directly on Facebook in just a few simple clicks. Of course, Facebook charges no fees on donations made to nonprofits on Facebook. We've already seen some really successful fundraisers launched, like Sam Smith's birthday fundraiser for War Child. Looking to use these influencers are looking to use their audience on Facebook to support the causes they care about. And so we saw very quickly that opening up page and public figure fundraiser availability was a really important thing, not only for nonprofits, but businesses and influencers as well. And this year we have recurring donations. I mean, we saw earlier in the recap of Giving Tuesday, when we learned 75% of people last year were new donors and 1 in 5 donate again, we knew we had to make this option available within the platform. So when a supporter donates to a nonprofit on Facebook, they can now choose to make a one-time donation or a recurring monthly donation. This is available on standard nonprofit fundraisers, birthday fundraisers, donate buttons, and fundraisers created by pages. Donors will receive a billing confirmation to the email connected to their Facebook profile, providing them all the details about their first donation and when they can expect future monthly donations. And they can also receive an email confirmation each month to notify them when their card has been charged. So we're trying to be as transparent as possible that they have signed up for recurring donations to your organization. Recurring monthly donations can be canceled at any time by going to the payment settings on Facebook and following the prompts under the recurring payment section. So we're really, really excited about this. We think it's really going to benefit organizations this year and moving into the future. We also have created for nonprofits the Fundraiser donor thank you tool. Basically, we kept hearing from partners like, oh my gosh, is there an easy way for us to go in and say thank you? And last year there wasn't. And so this year we've made it possible for you guys to easily go in and thank donors with a few simple clicks within the platform. So we're really excited about that. and I think you guys will be too. And of course, this Giving Tuesday and every day, there's no payment transaction fees. Nonprofits using Facebook as a payment platform to process donations pay no fee. 100% of the donations go directly to the charity. We've had that. Mark announced it last year on Giving Tuesday, and then we opened up the no transaction fees throughout the rest of 2017 and through 2018, and we've seen really great success with that, and there's no reason for us to go back. So 100% of those donations go to the charity. Now to some of the good stuff. I know that you guys have probably been waiting for a shameless plug again, just because we see that nonprofits are like, what are the fees? Again, no fees on any donation. It's true every day, but on Giving Tuesday this year, there will be no fees on any of the donations. We will be having in-product promotion this year. So that's consumer prompts, ads, and incentives to inspire supporters to create fundraisers. We're really, really excited about this. And here's a very rough, let me see if I can make this slide change. Here is a very rough mock of what these are going to look like. This is absolutely going to change before Giving Tuesday comes along. We are reiterating, but I convinced the creative team to let me share with you guys this exclusive sneak peek of what your supporters will be seeing on Giving Tuesday. So within the Fundraiser Hub, they'll see how much is being matched. On individual fundraiser pages, they'll see what you're doing to support a cause. And then at the bottom below, we'll be able to see who, from a brand perspective, is also donating. So it'll be Facebook and whoever else is matching the dollars during that moment. And then there will also be these things called newsfeed QPs. And those are things that pop down as a user's going through their flow to give them a highlight of what's happening in real time and remind them to take action. Again, this is all for placement only. All the wording and the numbers and everything that you see here will most likely change, but this is just to give you an idea of what those things will look like this year. And of course, ta-da, there will be matching dollars this year. We cannot today, I was hoping we could, but we cannot today announce exactly what those matching dollars are at this time. But in the next couple weeks, we will be sending out an email campaign that will explain all the match details, how you can take action, and what that match will be, and who's participating in the match this year for Giving Tuesday. So stay tuned and look for the space on Facebook. We have a really great email campaign coming out soon to help you guys take action on that day and take advantage of those matching dollars. So now on to even more great stuff. We often hear from partners how to be successful, how to create successful fundraisers, or how to get their supporters to create fundraisers on their behalf. We have a lot of best practices and guides for each of the tools and the audiences. And as we go into Giving Tuesday, our landing pages and all the information about Giving Tuesday will have best practice guides and support and playbooks for all of you guys to connect into. So again, stay tuned for that space. But today, we're just going to share with you a quick little highlight of what we've seen to be successful. So I'm not sure if everyone on the phone knows, so I'll give a little brief description, but 92nd Street and Y are the founders and creators of the Giving Tuesday moment. They started years ago on this moment, and it's obviously gained a lot of traction and awareness. And they have put together from their research some really great best practices. And I just want to go over these really quick with you so that you guys have it from the mouth of the people that have created this moment. They say, set a clear goal. Selecting a concrete goal that your donors can identify with is really, really valuable. making it tangible. Like, for example, your donations will go to support new basketballs for a school or scholarships, making it real. Think beyond the day. Of course, Giving Tuesday is a great day to fundraise, but it can also provide you the boost you need to launch, uplift, or wrap a longer campaign. And I'll get into a little bit more of that on the next slide. Consider your larger holiday campaign or end of year goals, wrapping those into the Giving Tuesday moment. Make a video. If a photo can say 1,000 words, video is even more powerful. We like to recommend to keep it between 30 and 90 seconds to make sure you're capturing those people's attention and making sure you're getting, the concise information across, making it fun and highlighting your mission. And then, of course, we love 92nd Street and Why because they love using the platform, using the network for good. Giving is a personal experience, and Facebook is the place to leverage your community to reach new donors and their circle of friends So really encouraging your supporters to share and celebrate their gifts on their personal pages is really, really valuable. To use all of these tools and to get the maximum from Facebook on Giving Tuesday, you've got to make sure you're signed up for the charitable giving tools. You can go to facebook.com/donate /sign up. You have to make sure you're a 501c3 nonprofit, verified page, and you have to make sure your page meets all the community standards, and there is processing time. So if you are not currently signed up to accept donations for the charitable giving tools, make sure you get on that today if you want to make impact on Giving Tuesday. So Jackie, I'll hand it back over to you and we can jump into any questions.
Yeah, awesome content. Thank you all for that. And thank you to the attendees for all these fantastic questions coming in. Kick it off. Jennifer, can you tell us just about what the standard turnaround time is for a nonprofit's application to be approved when they want to start providing or start fundraising through Facebook?
I would say the sooner you can get in, the better. The application process requires that you provide pretty important details around your 501c3. So it's before you even start the application, you need to make sure you've got all the information about your 501c3 ready to go. I would say make sure you've got all that information before you even sit down and start filling out that application because you could get stuck. And so get that prepared, sit down, fill out the application, get it filled out completely, and then it's about a 2-week turnaround time to get you onboarded. So the sooner you can do it, the better.
Perfect. And so once they've been approved on your end, how can they really start using all these great tools? What's the best way to dive in?
Well, for Giving Tuesday specifically, we will have, of course, all of the marketing communications and scaled outreach that we'll be sharing with all of our nonprofits. But more importantly, they can always go to nonprofits.fb.com and learn how to sign up for the tools. And we have really great guides and resources there for them to start diving into and getting set up and getting familiar before we announce the Giving Tuesday specific guides. They can always jump into that and get a lot of information there.
Perfect. Yes, we got a lot of questions asking about resources for answering either FAQs or best practices. So thank you for that link, and we'll make sure to send that out in the follow-up email as well. So how can a nonprofit go about changing some of the information that shows up on a fundraiser? Say their mission has shifted a little bit.
Yeah, so you want to go into, anytime you set up a fundraiser, you have a dashboard basically within Facebook where you'll be able to go in and just like we have the the payment tools and the recurring tools, you'll be able to access all of that stuff and update accordingly during your fundraiser. So no need to think that what you write the first day of the fundraiser can't change by the end. And actually, we encourage fundraiser nonprofits pages, whoever is creating the fundraiser, to go in and make sure they're updating and engaging with their audience along the way. So you'll be able to jump into that dashboard within Facebook and make those updates as needed.
Perfect. And then I actually saw a couple questions in here asking if the linking back to the GuideStar nonprofit profile was automatic or if that's something they have to enable. And I can go ahead and answer that one. It is automatic. So that's why we do encourage that you supplement that profile, provide information so when donors are on your GuideStar nonprofit profile, they're able to better understand the great work that you're doing. So talking a little bit about fundraising, Olivia and Kimberly, you mentioned your Giving Hope Live-a-thon, and we got a lot of questions around that. It seemed like such a great event. Some of them, how long were the segments for? Was it 5 minutes over the full day? Was it 15 minutes? Did it vary?
It varied. We find in general with lives that there's not really a standard length that's perfect. Like you can have a shorter one or a longer one. So some of the lives were 5 minutes. I would say most of them were closer to 10 minutes. Some were 15 and some were even closer to 30 minutes. So anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes, as long as you can keep it engaging the whole time.
Perfect. And do you have any best practices for going live?
Yes, I do. With live, obviously, it's live, so it's not a produced video, but I would highly recommend really planning everything out in advance so that there are no surprises. So maybe even doing a quick storyboard to go through everything that you want to showcase throughout the live. If you have any experts or people in the video, make sure to provide them with talking points in advance so that they have them. We also always use the Facebook Pages Manager app. So if anyone does not have that app, highly recommend you download it in the App Store. It's free and it makes it really easy to go live within that app. Best practices with capturing content is make sure to keep the camera steady. There's some really great tools that you can buy that are pretty affordable that allow you to keep the camera steady, like an iPhone easel. Make sure to have it be as visual as possible. Even if you don't have animals and you have, if you're an environmental nonprofit or if you're a nonprofit that works with children, make sure to show the most compelling visuals you can find. A lot of people listen to and watch videos without sound, so you want to make sure that the videos are really appealing.
You can even use those storyboard cards where you're writing on like a cardboard, key points that you want people to take away.
Yeah, and then one of the biggest pieces of advice is to have really strong Wi-Fi connection because lives require a strong Wi-Fi connection. So if it does not have a strong Wi-Fi connection, we would not recommend doing a Facebook Live.
So now getting into some of the nitty-gritty around the fundraisers, everyone is really, really excited about this, as they should be. Are you able to start a fundraiser for your own nonprofit page?
Yes. So that's the new tool that was introduced earlier this year. So pages and like public figures, so like individuals that are verified can start their own fundraiser, which is really, really great. And that was the Sam Smith example that we gave. So he could actually take his page and create his own fundraiser for a cause that he cares about. Nonprofits and businesses can also do the same from their page specifically.
Perfect. And then some people have asked about the difference between either a birthday fundraiser or a Giving Tuesday one. And then even, are all of these fantastic tools available throughout the year, or is it only for this time of year?
So all the tools that we talked about today are now available, now that they are launched, even the ones earlier in 2018, and then the ones that we have just kind of implemented going towards Giving Tuesday, they will be available indefinitely. Once we build something, we build it and we want it to be successful for nonprofits. And we don't think that taking it away after Giving Tuesday would probably be beneficial. So reoccurring donations and the thank you tool, that's here to stay.
Perfect. And then someone even asked, as a beginner, or can a beginner handle the process of Giving Tuesday? Olivia, Kimberly, do you have any advice for that?
Handling the process of Giving Tuesday? Yes, just have a plan.
Yeah, the first time.
You know what? We fully talk about this as a team all the time, and that the best thing that you can do sometimes is make a mistake. Just get out there, try it. You learn from everything that you do. So I fully support everybody going out there and Giving Tuesday a try. Think outside the box, have a smart plan, and just go for it.
And you don't have to do an all-day live-a-thon. Like, you can start small. You can create one fundraiser page on your Facebook page and try that out. So you don't have to feel like you need to get celebrities and influencers for every single campaign you do.
Yeah, another great thing that you can do is look back at the content that has done really well for your page throughout the year. So just go look into those analytics a little bit, and then maybe just come up with some posts that reflect that strong content.
Perfect. That is great advice. So diving a little bit into, once you've done a fantastic fundraiser, how long roughly does it take to receive these donations? Jen, can you speak to that?
Yeah, so earlier in the webinar, we kind of talked about that. So basically, there's a threshold in which you have to reach to be able to start receiving donations, and that's $100. And once you've hit $100, then it takes at least 48 hours for you to see that the donation has come in and who's attached to that donation, if they've opted in, of course, to show their information. And then it can take, depending on whether you're getting direct funds or a mail check, it can take up to 2 weeks to get that money paid out. So again, we answered those earlier in the webinar, and during the recording, you can go back and re-listen to those sections for a little bit more details if necessary.
Perfect. And in that same vein, asking a little bit about where can they learn the status of that donation, if they've reached 100 or if they're still waiting?
Same place. So they can go to their payments within that dashboard on their fundraiser, in their fundraisers tab, and see all that information there.
Perfect. And then I think you're going to like answering this question. You talked a little bit about it, but does Facebook charge a fee?
That's funny. No, we charge 0 fees on all donations made through the Facebook platform. So to take advantage of that, you also have to be signed up through Facebook charitable giving tools. So that's very, very important, and a caveat. You can't be getting fees through, another third party. You have to be signed up through our tools to take advantage of that 0 fees.
Perfect. And do you mind just reiterating that link on where they can go and sign up again?
Yeah, so you can sign up. We have in a lot of places, there's the Fundraiser Hub, and then there is also our nonprofits.fb.com, where you can find out all the information on how to get started, as well as really helpful guides and best practices. And then, of course, again, as we launch Giving Tuesday this year in the next couple of weeks, you guys will all be in the know of all the good stuff directly related to Giving Tuesday and all the best practices and guides that we have in the playbooks to set you up for success.
Perfect. And so, do you have any advice, once you have a fundraiser or once you're starting one, on how you can cultivate these donors on Facebook? And Olivia and Kimberly, maybe you guys have advice for that as well?
Yeah, so one thing that we do is that one of our community managers goes in and it takes some time, but they go in and they go to all of the current fundraisers. They write a message on their wall thanking them for their support and their donation, and then providing a link for that donor to become part of like our team, depending on what their fundraiser was for. So it could be sign up to receive our news alerts or join our advocacy brigade. So kind of just taking that time to thank them and then offer them another way to further their commitment to us.
Perfect. That was great advice. And so, Jen, if someone has an ongoing campaign for their nonprofit and so they want to have a bit of a longer fundraiser, they're asking if there's a sort of time limit or what is the duration that they can run a fundraiser?
So right now, I think that we have like a set, I think you can run it for a certain amount of time. But with that being said, you can always extend your fundraiser. So I think we have like 90 days right now. And then now I'm not saying start your Giving Tuesday webinar 90 days before. I mean, not webinar, campaign 90 days before. But it's like, you can set it up, and if it's really successful and you're getting a lot of impact on a fundraiser, even outside of Giving Tuesday, we can push that past 90 days. And in fact, we've had a lot of nonprofits do that. We set it up just so that it's not going on forever and it's forgotten. But of course, we can always extend it if necessary.
Perfect. And speaking of setting it up, are you able to create it and save it as a draft, or do you have to publish a fundraiser right away?
That is such a good question. And so we actually have to do it right away at this point. We are trying to, don't quote me on this, but we are trying to make it so that we have the option to maybe schedule ahead of time. But right now, I just don't foresee that being able to happen for this Giving Tuesday, but maybe in the future.
Perfect. We'll keep our fingers crossed. I saw another GuideStar question in here that I can answer, and it was about the cost to update your nonprofit profile, and I'm happy to say it's 100% free. So earning a seal of transparency is free, claiming your profile is absolutely free as well, and then having that information power those 200 giving portals like Facebook is also free. So we're getting close to the time limit, so I think we have time for just one last question. I'm going to open it up to all of our fantastic guests here. But if each of you could only give one piece of advice to nonprofits prepping for giving season, what would it be? And Olivia, can we start with you?
Sure. Let's see. We talked about this a bit throughout the presentation, but I would think about how to extend the impact of your Giving Tuesday. So it's not, even though Giving Tuesday is only one day, start early and keep it going so that it's part of a cohesive campaign. And if you are putting work into it, then you're getting the most possible bang for your buck. And you can have what you create in Giving Tuesday go right into the holiday giving season.
Yeah, that's a great one. Oh, sorry. I was going to just jump in there. Go ahead, Kimberly.
Go ahead, Jen.
Sure.
Okay, I'll go ahead. So I love what Olivia said, and I would say that I think it's really important to show instead of tell. So those best practices around making it tangible, like really showing the kids that are being impacted by the donations that are being received, or the pets, or whatever, very similar to how ASPCA, did their live-a-thon. I think it's really important to make sure that people can see where their money is going and the impact that it's having.
Okay, I'll jump in here. It's Kimberly. My biggest thing is to plan. You can never start too early in the planning process. So in August, September, you're not quite in November yet, but that's when you need to get all your ducks in a row, get your content calendar. What will you be pushing out? Where will you be promoting this? once you get your creative all built, so when Giving Tuesday comes, you are all set. You've got your dates, your times, your plan is there, and that is going to make that day go so much easier for you.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, absolutely fantastic advice. I want to thank all three of you for joining us today. This was very eye-opening for me as well, and I've run a couple of Facebook fundraisers, so I learned a lot. I hope the audience did as well. I want to thank you and all of our attendees for joining us today. Have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you all again soon, and happy fundraising this giving season.